This is Natalie Branson. Today is October 28th, 2018, and I am interviewing Morgan Burroughs for the first time. The interview is taking place in Morgan's home in Asheville, North Carolina. The interview is part of an oral history project for Dr. Ann Parsons' course, Museum and Historic Site Interpretation, Principles and Practice. The project seeks to capture the stories of disabled individuals to gain a better understanding of disability history. Okay, so first I wanted to talk to you about your life growing up. So, where did you grow up? Okay, and what's your family like?
My family is Leon and and Hannah, and we have a band that unbreakable. Then we have been to come back together with my past life, and when I come in, we get mad at each other, but we're open and make up.
So you and your mom are close?
My brother, my other brother, everything.
So what was your schooling like?
It was hard, but I went through high school, kindergarten, first grade, and second grade, and half of third grade, because I was dying, and I couldn't listen to it. And then I got my medicine in 2002, and then I started going to public school.
Okay. So you were homeschooled and you went to public school?
Yeah, after 2008.
Okay. So did you have any favorite topics or favorite teachers?
I like math and English, and then the one teacher I had that helped me learn how to read, because I didn't know how to read, because I was already meant to, so my teacher had to teach me how to read.
Okay. So what was your favorite part about your childhood?
I think when the favorite part for me when we were those my family's house and we hang out with each other and have food, and family time.
Yeah. Family time?
Yeah.
Give me a snapshot, if you can remember, of your average day when you were growing up. And what did you do? What were you interested in?
The other day, my grandfather, I play with my grandmother a lot, and then my neighborhood friends came over, and I played with them a lot, with my mother. And I went to when I was 9, I was more in the mood, was trying to live. And then when I remembered, I came back to life. I went to school, I made friends.
Okay. So, I don't want to make the interview about your disability, but rather about your experience navigating the world as a person with different abilities. But so that everyone who is going to watch this in the future or listen to this in the future, and so that we can have a baseline, can you tell me about your disability? What caused it? When did it begin? Etc.
And when I was born, I had a rare genetic disorder called complete And then the future now that has to say the same effective being in the child who had it and this is even a victim for an serious. So sometimes in sensitive without going into the wrong story, having when the man makes judgment, such as that break down the harm and finish technical terms, and it turns into judgment. My man makes break down judgment, so the harm and finish technical terms goes into my muscle, and it breaks down the muscle, the system, and elements, and over time, the mind.
Okay. So, when were you diagnosed?
Someone diagnosed about 10
Okay. Okay. So, how has Pompe disease complicated your experience as a person with disabilities?
Well, when you're at the first, people are not as familiar with you, and if you as a different person, even though you're not really different, and I don't feel much like someone who has a disability who I am, and someone that made was supposed to do, who I'm supposed to do, and navigate my maybe extra sensitive to the world around me, and nothing there's differentness in it, and I don't make friends, and I don't accept people with different things, sometimes I don't have time for them, and I'm home, or in other moments, knowledge, all that moment, and you're nice, oh hey, how are you? And people who are dismissing and take time, and on the heads up, so we're not moving fast, so like, we're from nothing in
So, you were saying that you don't see yourself as a person who has disabilities because you've been the way that you are for your whole life.
that I'm meant to be the way I am now. Like, no one is perfect. I'm an that everything happens for a reason, and I knew supposed to work. I was supposed to use the research and find a purpose in helping some people do differently.
Yeah. And that's something that I want to talk about in a little bit. So, do you think that you said that you kind of experience the world differently
Yeah.
because and you have to navigate the world in a different way than people who aren't in a wheelchair, for example.
I'm like on the outside listening.
Okay. So, do you think that being in a wheelchair, do you think that that affected your childhood or the experiences that you had?
Yeah, yeah.
How do you think?
During that ceremony, the second day, and like the you know, like in circle and like it's a nice so that was a good it's a nice and so I can sleep too high sleep limited not so hard and like people would like I said, hey, no. And then they don't say, hey, buddy, you want some of that? And have that in the
That's so sad.
Right.
But that's just how it is. So, yeah. Yeah.
Something that on enough, like, how on how on this,
So, do you think that experiences like that, do you think that it, since you were such a young child and it was happening, do you think that that's impacted the way that you look at the world now? Like, do you think that those experiences kind of made you want to rebel a little bit?
Sometimes, I'm not a bad person, but
I'm sorry. I know that you're not a bad person. You don't have to say that. Okay, so can we move on to high school? Okay. What was high school like for you?
Freshman year, I was in Northwood, and a Christian, and I went therapy, and I had a Christian, and I saw all the people around me, like, singing, and their Christian, and coming, and like, making friends, doing just person different and so making it see and I can do that and then they're messing about that. So like half of me and then possibly and then women like and then women and then like happy and coming home make friends and
So, did you start applying for college senior year?
I we have testing. We have a testing when the application we have a program, and the mechanism, and only what to say. Now, we can have a man but now, on the question, having the solution, you know him.
Yeah, that's hard. Did you always plan on going to college?
I can make something for myself and then returning at keep doing things and keep learning things.
So it was another rebellion. So you said that you applied to 5 colleges?
Yeah,
So what made you choose UNC Asheville?
I think the Christmas and the sentimental and it really like cool that there's some kind of support. There's some kind of support in one person who look like something passionate and who don't know anyone, everyone knows who and that's okay.
So you liked how small things were?
Because the charity kind of Christian.
What was it like for you to start freshman year? Did you feel the same kinds of feelings that you felt freshman year of high school?
I was sad, I was happy, I was lost. And then I was just like, I've been sorry now, I'm running away.
I think that's how everyone feels. So before you started college, you were already living where we are now?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you ever live on campus?
I was like 2 years, then I like moved there, and then I had nurses who remember with me. And then too, I had for like the winter month, they say I have to be on my element and like those in the my element high. And I'm going to see I have been in the winter in really hard so it's so that it means that you have two parents to something.
Okay. Kind of.
Also, I need somewhere to go to when it was the winter, so I need to stay music.
Okay. So you just needed a place to be in the winter because, yeah. Okay. So do you think that being in a wheelchair, because I don't want to say that you have a disability, but do you think that that changed your college experience?
Yes, and then not the trying to get to know you. And the promotion, my something that you want to do, the same thing that you want to do. And I never
Yeah. So it was kind of like they just assumed that you don't want to do the same things as them.
No, you don't realize I have the same hope and reality to
So you said that you hated having to check the box when you were applying that you had a disability. Did you ever have any problems with like accessibility on campus? What kinds of problems did you have most frequently?
The button has the first to open the doors. No, never. Then never. I am a political planner and manager. The sense never was my kind of manner of really bad. Instead of pushing the button, she has to open the door. She never.
So, was it mainly the issue in that one building that you were in, or did you think that it happened in a lot of the buildings?
After probably, I feel probably a lot of person that when it doesn't run building common time and run.
Since it was the primary building that you were in.
Yeah.
So did you ever like try to report?
Okay. And then when you can put that and one loop and then the person was like the technical like everyone and lecturers.
Yeah.
So then the person.
Yeah. It doesn't help that it's so there's hills and steps and yeah. So do you ever think that because of the problems that you've had with accessibility, did you ever have to like alter your plans or change your schedule because
Yes, I had to. Sometimes I remember like 2 years I had a problem with transportation, so I had to drop one of my classes and that person is the mystery.
oh
So that I didn't have with me in there.
and it was because you didn't have a way to get there and it was the only time that the class was offered? So do you think that how did that affect you, like having to deal with those kinds of issues that you know that people who aren't in a wheelchair don't have to deal with?
I was just annoying. I'm so used to that situation, and then it was affected. So my music control sensitive. We have to limit investment with the internet practice.
Yeah. So what advice can you give to a person who has disabilities or someone who has a wheelchair, someone who's in a position that's similar to yours, who just started their first year of college? What advice would you have for them?
Never for anyone, and when you have problems, you go to the system that you have a problem with, when you know the person that is higher up in the system that have had problems with professors and have had to that singer come to the department that says this professor is like really happy that everyone else can do wonderful in there and I'm just intended that's not fair.
So you think that the best thing to do is to not take people's
Yeah, I know taking And then opening the pension, protection, having no person, having the normal,
So we met when we rushed the same sorority in 2015. We were both in Alpha Xi Delta. So what made you want to join a sorority?
And I'm willing to make friends. I'm willing to make connections for the rest of the life.
Wait, repeat the last part.
Let me turn out to make a hope.
You think that joining the sorority didn't turn out the way you thought it would?
Yeah.
What happened?
People have like customer businesses. Then I have friends businesses, but not like friends like a lot of people have.
Because everybody kind of separates into their own groups. Okay. So now I want to take some time to talk about some of the more difficult topics that surround people with disabilities, and especially people with Pompe disease. And I want to clarify first that these questions were approved by Morgan before the interview. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what was the hardest part, or the hardest parts of growing up in a wheelchair?
I kind of knew what other people knew, but I not. I had to actually stay behind when my students and Nana, she had kept surrounding my voice, and then when I would go, I something having something that I should have done, and then I would listen. When I following, listening to cooking, they don't have the trust to stimulate I find it just hot in some random person for and say, okay, I'm ready. I have to do it. Sing my own song instead of singing it.
So it's kind of like things just take longer.
Yeah,
And they,
so like you have to kind of pinch it. So not just like, okay, I'm ready. You have to instructions, the runaway, everything. You're not just like hoping for police to realize
do you think that you developed the patience for it, or?
Yeah. How is this thing? I have impatient.
Okay, so I don't want to go off on a tangent or anything, but I do want to give some context before my next question. So I vividly remember having a conversation shortly after we joined the sorority, a conversation that you were excluded from, specifically about you and what to say or not say to you or about you regarding your disability. And we were told that you were aware of the conversation, and it was at that point that we were told about your diagnosis and your prognosis. So you shook your head when I said that you were told about it. So you didn't have any...
When you look on the website, it tells you everything that nobody has. There are new people who make judgments before other people.
So you would rather have told them yourself.
And something from the one that had it, not prayer. And rather than I know my whole situation.
So she didn't ask you?
No, you know I had, and I told her something about, but she never told her that how I was supposed to live, what it is, and how it affects me.
Can we talk about those things?
Sure.
So what was your prognosis that you were given?
Hi.
Mr. Turner wants to say hi to you.
It's okay.
Hey Morgan, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
Good, good. How's school? Are you still at UNC Asheville?
I'm running.
December.
Nice. Congratulations. I know it's been
Fun?
tough.
Yeah.
I know you guys have had to fight with the university
Yeah.
to get what you need.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, I'm just out
That's
knocking
what
on
they're doing
doors.
now. They're working on a master's program.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your MFA?
No, Natalie is.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
doing an oral interview with her
Oh, very
So,
nice.
for
Very
my
nice.
history program.
Well, I don't want to interrupt, so it's good to see you.
Yeah.
So have a good day. guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, you too. Who was that?
The hardest man for right. And the trick,
The congressman?
like, you know how much people sometimes the trick, like, the county, Madison County, and that,
Oh.
and we like to come
So it was like a campaigning thing. But have you met him before?
Yeah.
Okay.
and Madonna, something with him, something in the first name.
Interesting.
Yeah. Amazing.
Okay. So we'll start back with what was the prognosis that you were given and when were you given that?
The prognosis I was given, I wasn't supposed to live for, I wasn't supposed to do my first birthday.
Your first birthday? So did you start?
And then they realized I had the medical test. So they were like, oh, you're not supposed to die until 15. And then, and then they were like,
And you're almost 22? 23. So they,
911.
so they're just wrong. So were you, at this point, are they still going with that process? Are they still saying, oh, it's not going to be past 23, or are they just like, we don't know what's happening?
We have medicine, but whenever they're in it has been treatment.
Okay.
So in 2003, I got my treatment for cocaine because it removes the bad stuff from my body and slowly down the congestion.
Okay.
So I can live well into my 90s.
Well into your 90s? Okay.
So they're not like, they don't really have a microphone. You want to like, you get down and you try to get as soon as possible in your license rather than
So because you were able to start treatment when you were 5, is that what you
because 7
Okay.
you can't be 7
Okay. So you started treatment in 2003, and because you were able to start when you were so young, it helped you. So prior to 2003, did you have, it was really,
pneumonia and I had a ring and then that then put me on a ventilator and I had pneumonia like 2 times before that and then just like respiratory second treatment
so how long have you been on the ventilator?
and then
Since you were 4?
yeah.
Long time.
I don't know life without that ventilator.
So what would you say to a child who was diagnosed with Pompe disease and they were young and they were in the same position that you were, except maybe not since they could start the treatment sooner than you could?
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
Don't be afraid of a random facet to internet. Like, since I may have something so minimal, genetic tendencies may help you live your life longer than without it. Like, since I may have that helps you. And I have a name for my name. And name.
Wait, repeat
I
that?
have a name for my name.
For your ventilator?
And
What is it?
Fred.
Fred?
It helps me.
How did you come up with that name?
I don't know. You can name them and name them. I can name it.
I mean, it's been with you for most of your life, so.
I don't know.
So, do you think that it's difficult to talk to others about your prognosis, even though it's really not as scary, I guess, as it was before you started your treatment?
Not really, because it's really I'm not doing it. And and right now it's about to die because everyone that honestly can hear so very not frustrated.
So how often have you really talked about Pompe disease before having this conversation with me? Like how often have you talked in depth with someone about it?
So that was the second person I knew most of my happenings and having medicine, and I was just sitting there, and I was understanding my eyes having kicked and have something, but then and I own it, and the woman said, hey, I have this, and I'm proud of it, because I didn't my name and so like, I'm not going to do action that name. She's talking about it, but like, it's so much action about it.
Okay. So if you talked about your activism and your, I guess, participation in like the Pompeii community. So what is the Pompeii community?
Pompeii is people around the high Pompeii and they decide to put together and talk about the kind of symptoms they have, like any habits or any alcohol.
So before, I know that you went to a meetup
Okay,
where you,
that's the group.
yeah, and what was your experience with the Pompeii community before that? Had you ever met
I
anyone?
never met anyone before that. I don't remember. I may have, and I don't remember.
Is there anything else that you want to add or talk about?
No, because when people the pain, the pain and you feel more normal, and it's but the people that now that is more healthy and because they were able to touch the things right like in the moon and understand that so they can bring there's a lot and it's so like even though you can normal you can time and habit.
So have you met, whenever you went to the meetup, did you meet anyone else who had experienced the same progression as you or started treatment around the same time as you?
And I was one of 7 people who were not enough around medicine. And then 2 of them were no longer around. And now we're going to say, proud of us. And no one else who makes us. Then normal tennis is a lot. They have clubs. And then 10 people who are not enough who close.
Okay. So you're an undergrad.
And
You are now.
Yeah.
And you're about to graduate.
then, can I read
Okay, so 2 questions. The first is, what are you getting your degree in? Okay. And what are you wanting to do after you graduate?
I want to figure out my life and my lesson and figure out how to do it. So, national and international online and for tycoon tonight. Me and the Mexican woman who answered for the right of the from still and because I want to write the policy and the one that we have now from that name.
So you want to work in advocacy.
From
So I guess as a final thought question, is there anything else that you'd like listeners, the people who are hearing this or watching this in the future, is there anything that you would like them to know, or people in the future, or young people to know? Is there anything in the future is there anything that you would want people in the future to know about you or about Pompe disease?
the best life, the best life continue. I know that
I think that's good advice. Okay. Well, I want to say thank you so much for letting me come to your house and interview you today.